It is hard to imagine what it would be like to be 40 years old and suddenly unable to take care of yourself, to need to be lifted into bed or the shower, to constantly have to ask friends and family for help. A woman in Auburn doesn't want to live that way any longer, and she has come up with a way that she can manage all on her own once again. But first, she needs a little more help from the community. Jennifer Turner is an independent woman. She was paralyzed at the age of 13 by a hit-and-run driver.
I guess I have just enough spirit and just enough spunk that there was no way I was sitting and collecting total dust. It just wasn't going to happen.
She skied and kayaked and started gardens. That's how many people in Auburn know her. She's planted 4 community gardens, tending them by pulling herself around on her hands. But she can't do any of those things anymore. A few years ago, she tore the tendons in her arms, leaving them very weak.
I'm quite fortunate that my dad's handy. All my silverware are bent at a 45-degree angle so that I can get them to my mouth.
Her parents have been wonderful, but both are having health problems, and Jennifer doesn't want to be a burden.
Nobody expects to have a child with a disability, and nobody expects to need to take care of them when their kids are 40. But sometimes things are out of our control. But I'm very fortunate that I've had some very, very good friends and volunteers that have really picked up the spot where my family hasn't been able to do so.
She asks friends and even her 89-year-old neighbor for help too.
She's like my grandmother. She would do positively anything to make it easier for me. You know, but she's too old to be able to lift or put me into bed or do things like that.
Jennifer's even volunteered with the Dollar Bank, proofing papers to get help in return. But what she really wants is to not have to ask anymore. She wants a lifting system.
And the lifting system will allow me to get in and out of bed, in and out of the shower, on and off the toilet, those type of things by myself.
The American Society of Civil Engineers heard about Jennifer through an old high school classmate of hers.
We thought it was a very compelling story, and engineers, we try to make society better by design.
So for 2 years, Frank and other volunteers have been designing a house that meets Jennifer's needs, complete with a lifting system. Through loans, grants, and donations, they've got land and materials. But adaptive equipment is very expensive, and they're about $50,000 short. If they don't raise that money by the end of October, all the loans and grants will go to someone else.
It's now or never, and we're not going to give up till the game's over. But
Jennifer's not giving up either. Even though her arms are weak, that spirit and spunk are as strong as ever. And she's still reaching by whatever means necessary for her independence.
And pick up my adapted slipper with the Velcro so that
If you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation, you can send it to the ASCE Jennifer Turner Project at P.O. Box 1212. Auburn, Maine, 04211. We have that information on our website as well. And one other note, Jennifer has it set up so that when she dies, the home would go to a similarly disabled person. So this is a gift that will keep on giving.